What's up, BookTube? Welcome to the Orilium Gear Up mini readathon. Okay, so before we get started on the book stuff, real quick, I have COVID right now, so I apologize for all of this. The video that you are about to see is going to be a fucking disaster. So I'm sorry in advance, but I really wanted to participate in the Gear Up readathon, so I'm still doing it even though I feel like I've been hit by a truck several times and then dragged along the highway and like just left for dead on the side of the road. Oh god. That's how I feel right now. I'm on day 4 of COVID and I feel just as bad as I did on day 1. So this is going to be a bit of a disaster. So I apologize if you're watching this. It's going to be just go into this video knowing that it's going to be a mess. I'm not getting dressed at all this week, so you're just going to have to deal with me being in my pajamas. I tried to at least like put on like a cute hoodie earlier, but like my fever is so bad that I can't wear anything warm. So I'm literally wearing a pajama shirt and that's what I'll be in for the entire week. This shit is no joke, y'all. Like, oh my god. I obviously knew that COVID was really bad because of what everybody has been saying for the last 2 years. I knew it was going to be bad, but I didn't think it was gonna be like this. This is worse than I could have possibly imagined. I don't even want to think about what this would feel like if I didn't have the vaccines. I haven't gotten the booster shot yet. I'm going to after this is done because like, wow. I don't want to deal with this again. But yeah, I have genuinely never felt this terrible in my entire life. And yeah, it's rough. Everything is bad. It's so bad. But anyways, on to the actual reading part of this reading vlog. So if you don't know what the magical readathon is, it's hosted by G over at Book Roast. I'll leave her video link down below, or the playlist of her videos. But this is a readathon that she has made completely from scratch and she's put so much effort into it, so definitely go and check out her videos. It's like incredible. She's made this whole gigantic world. There's like different continents and different kinds of people. It's such an interesting readathon. She's done an incredible job with it and I'm so excited to be doing this. So at this point in the readathon, we have just gotten through the novice path, which was a readathon that we did in September, I think it was. So I'll leave my September TBR link down below. And then from September until now, we've been kind of like using books to build our characters and stuff. So for my character, I am a earthling with an earth affinity. So I'm an earthling. It sounds really funny. And I have like no kinds of artistic abilities, so I haven't drawn my character at all. The character of myself that I have in my head is like very fawn-like. I've got my leopard spots that all earthlings do, and like the picture in my head is basically myself. So I've got my like short curly hair, but then I also have little antlers coming out because I thought that'd be cute. My character is basically just like a forest nymph fawn version of myself. For my guild, I'm in the Order of the Crescent. So for this readathon, the books that we're reading and the prompts that we have to read for, they correspond to our conduit as well as our legacy. So for the Order of the Crescent Guild, I'm choosing to do the quarterstaff conduit. If you don't know, I deal with chronic pain, and like while I don't actually use a cane in real life, I probably should be realistically. So I wanted to do the quarterstaff because I could also use it as a walking stick as well as like hit people with it, you know. I thought that'd be kind of fun. So I could use it as a weapon as well as a mobility aid, so I thought it'd be kind of cool to incorporate my chronic pain into my character and just make it a little bit more me. So in order to get the quarterstaff, I have to read a book that is part of a quartet. And at first I thought of King of Crows. It's the 4th book in the series and I could finish out the series, but then I realized that I could also read Hunting Fiends for the Ill-Equipped by Annette Marie. This is the 3rd book in this quartet. I just read book 2 last week and I already want to read book 3, so this is probably what's going to end up happening, most likely. I say most likely as if I haven't already chosen. This is what's happening. I'm reading this one. I want to read King of Crows and like I'll get to it one day, but it's a chunky book and my other book that I've picked for this readathon is also quite chunky, so I'm gonna go with this one instead. The Guild Codex Demonized series is about I think she's 21 years old and her parents have just passed away in a car accident, and so she's living with her uncle right now and he has stolen her entire inheritance. So she's working to try and get that back. And in the meantime, she finds out that her uncle is hosting a illegal demon selling ring in the basement. And then she accidentally befriends the demon and gets into a soul contract with said demon, and then things go from there. It's such a fun series. There's so much fantastic humor in here. The banter is hilarious, and this is becoming a like very feel-good series for me. It just makes me really happy, and I could use some of that right now, so I think it's a good choice for this prompt. And like, look how hot the demon is. Honestly, he's so hot. But yeah, so that is my pick for prompt number 1. And then for the legacy prompt, for the Order of the Crescent, we get to pick a familiar. The Order of the Crescent is very in tune with nature and animals, and we have a lifelong bond with some kind of creature. So the rules of the Readathon, this can be a real creature if you want it to be, but you can also make it up, and I've chosen to create my own creature, and it's a like combination hybrid thing of 2 other animals from our actual world. So my familiar looks like a Venezuelan poodle moth, the ones that like look like a fairy Pokemon kind of thing. So it's all white. It has these like really big wings, these like really cool antennas. They're adorable. So it looks like that, but then it has the fur texture, the size, and the really long tail of a sugar glider. To me, that just sounds like it would be the cutest animal ever, and I'm calling it a sugar mouse. And again, I have no artistic abilities whatsoever, so I did not draw this. If I could have, I would have. If you're an artist who's watching this and you feel like drawing it, go for it. But yeah, so that is the animal that I'm choosing to bond to. And so for the prompt, in order to get that bond, I have to read a book that has that animal on the cover in the title, or somewhere in the book, and since this is a made-up creature, that's obviously not going to happen. So instead, I went through my entire Goodreads to be read list, and I looked for any book that had a moth on the cover. I was not going to find a book that had a sugar glider on the cover, obviously, so I went for a moth. Then I had 3 options. Those were Before We Disappear by Shaun Hutchinson, That Dark Infinity by Kate Pentecost, and The Petrified Flesh by Cornelia Funke. And just based on availability of like what I have from Scribd and from my library's ebook app, I'm going to be going with Before We Disappear by Shaun Hutchinson. I'm not entirely clear on the plot of this one. I know it has to do with the like Alaska Yukon show of some kind. I'm not really sure what it is, but it has to do with magicians. I think it's like 2 rival magicians and their assistants end up falling in love with each other. So it's a male-male ahistorical fantasy. It's a chunky book. It's like 500 pages, so we'll see how much of it I actually managed to get through right now. But yeah, that's all that I know about this book. I haven't looked too much into the plot of it. It just sounds really fun, and it has a beautiful cover. So yeah, that's what I'll be reading for this prompt. So between those 2 books, I should be able to keep busy this week. So far, I haven't been able to do that much reading while I've been off, just because my head hurts so badly that I just haven't been able to focus, and I keep falling asleep every like half an hour basically. So realistically, I don't know how much reading I'm actually going to do, but I'm hoping I'll be able to finish at least these 2 books. And then otherwise, right now, I'm also reading my arc of From Bad to Cursed by Lana Harper, so I'll probably also be reading that throughout this vlog as well, kind of like slowly making my way through all of these ones. But again, I can't promise how much reading I'll actually be able to do. I am so exhausted. I've mostly just been napping on and off, and then I'm also doing a Hobbit and Lord of the Ring movie marathon as well. I've never seen the Hobbit movies before, so right now I'm about halfway through the first one. Then I'll be doing all the Lord of the Rings most likely as well too. The extended editions, obviously, what else would I watch? But yeah, so that's the plan. I will update once I've started some reading, but for right now, I think I'm gonna go take a nap. I'm so tired. Maybe I'll start, oh god, I just dropped it. Maybe I'll start this book and see how much I can read before I fall asleep. But wish me luck. I can no longer remain conscious. It is, I think it's about 9:30, and I'm probably gonna go to bed. I'm so tired. I'm exhausted. Oh my god, I can't keep my eyes open anymore. Yeah, so I'm gonna go to sleep. So for today, yeah, I just finished watching The Desolation of Smaug, which I really enjoyed. I liked the end of that, which is Bilbo being like, what have we done? Like, it was so dramatic, it was awesome. I think I mentioned earlier that I've never seen the Hobbit movies before, so this is a first for me. I have read the book, but I haven't seen the movies, so this is really fun. Apparently, I remember nothing about the book, but yeah, I'm having a great time watching these movies. So I watched the last 2 hours of that, and since it's Pi Day, March 14th, my roommate and I got some pizza because there was a sale for Pi Day, so we got some pizza. It was great. And then for reading, I've been reading Hunting Fiends for the Ill-Equipped, and I am on page 63, so just on chapter 6. I'm using my little cross-stitched cat bookshelf bookmark that I made. I have a time-lapse video of me making this like 2 years ago, or last year, I don't know, it was a while ago, but I'll link that if you want a little satisfying time-lapse video if you'd like. But yeah, I'll link that. So far this is a lot of fun. I'm really enjoying it. I love this series. It is honestly becoming one of my favorite series. It's just such a good time. So far, not too much has happened. They're just kind of getting things going. When I lay down, I might start reading, what's it called? Before We Disappear, I think. Is that what it's called? The other book that I'm reading for this readathon. Because that one I'll be reading over ebook and audiobook at the same time. So I might listen and read along with a little bit of that before I fall asleep. But honestly, I might also just lie down and immediately knock the fuck out, so we'll see what happens. But oh god, I'm exhausted. Not as bad as I was earlier. My headache isn't nearly as bad. We did have a really awkward moment with the pizza guy because my roommate ordered it, and she is convinced that she selected the contactless delivery option, and I know she did because she does not on a normal day want to have interaction with other humans, but especially not right now. So I know without a shadow of a doubt that she did indeed click that contactless delivery option on the app. And yet when the pizza guy got here, he knocked on the door and he wouldn't go away, and I'm trying to be like, go, like, they can't open the door right now. So I opened the one door, but I like left the screen door closed, that way there was still a barrier between us. And he was like, hey, how are you? And I'm like, we have COVID. We can't open the door, man. And he's like, oh, well, why didn't you click the contactless delivery? And I was like, I'm pretty sure we did. Anyways, he was really nice, but it was just awkward, and he like recoiled away from us, and we're like, dude, there's a door between us, it's fine. And I was like, can you just put the pizza on the ground so we can grab it after you leave? But yeah, he was very nice. He was just very confused and seemed upset that we apparently didn't select the contactless delivery, even though we definitely did. But either way, it doesn't really matter. It was funny. It was good pizza though. Got broccoli and goat cheese. I'm weird. I like broccoli on my pizza. Don't judge me. But anyways, I'm gonna stop rambling about pizza delivery, guys, and actually go to sleep now. So I will check in with you guys in the morning once I've done some more reading, and then hopefully tomorrow I'll feel less like dying. That would be really nice. Good night. How are you doing? It's I think it's like 2:30 maybe, I don't really know. I'm about to take a nap because I am exhausted. I didn't end up starting the other book. Why do I keep forgetting the name? The other one that I'm reading, you know what I'm talking about. Didn't start that one last night. I just read a little bit more From Bad to Cursed for like 20 minutes, and then I aimlessly scrolled through TikTok for like 45 minutes. So that's what happened last night. But then today I've been reading a little bit of Hunting Fiends for the Ill-Equipped. I'm on page 128. Still really enjoying it, having a good time. Shit's going down and it's fun. It's just such a fun book. I love this series. I know I keep saying it and like I'm offering no new information here, but I also, it's kind of hard to like talk about this book because it's the third book in the series. So I don't want to like go into any detail about what's going on because it would fully spoil like everything from the last two books, so can't really do that. But I think I'm gonna take a nap now. I'm still just chilling here with my little snake heating pad. It hadn't really occurred to me how COVID might interfere with like chronic pain issues, but a fun development from the last 2 days is that I now have a severe muscle soreness in my ribs and my abs from coughing so hard, and because most of my chronic pain is in my back. I have back issues for the most part, as well as some other things, but it's mostly my back. But my upper back, like right between my shoulder blades, always gets really tight, and again because of all the coughing, it's really tight right now, and so every time I cough it twinges really badly, and it just makes every single cough excruciatingly painful. And normally I go to the chiropractor once a week, but obviously I had to cancel my appointment for tomorrow, so I just have to kind of deal with it and suffer. So yep, so heating pad right now is my best friend. This thing's great because I can just like wrap it around my ribs and just like put it like that, or I can wrap it around and have both my ribs and my back have the heating pad, so it's getting some good use in right now. But you know, I never really thought about how being this sick might affect chronic pain, and that's something that I don't see talked about a lot. And like obviously I see people talking about how people who deal with like chronic illness are like more at risk of COVID and stuff, but I don't see people talking about how actually having COVID can make chronic pain so much worse. So that just like never really occurred to me until I was dealing with it. And I'm not having a good time. So not as bad today though, honestly. My headache isn't as bad, the coughing isn't as bad as it was, so I think I'm like slowly but surely starting to be on the mend here, so that's really good. But yeah, I'm gonna go take a nap for a little while, and then when I wake up, I'm either gonna continue reading this one or I might start the third Hobbit movie, one of the two. I'm thinking I'm gonna wait to start Before We Disappear until I finish Hunting Fiends, just to make my life easier and not get things all confused. The books are like nothing alike, but I'm already reading two books at once, and if I add a third I might end up getting all the plots mixed up together, so I don't want to do that. Yeah, so I'm just gonna finish this one first. I'm also reading the audiobook along with it, and I think I have like 5 hours at regular speed left, so it's about 2.5 hours at double speed. So I'll probably most likely finish it by the end of the day. If not, then like early tomorrow, and then I can start the other one, and then we'll go from there. Anyways, that's my update. Good night. Okay, hello. Hi, how you doing? It's like 1:30 in the afternoon and I'm just now getting around to filming this, but last night I finished Hunting Fiends for the Ill-Equipped by Annette Marie, and I fucking loved it. I knew I would, but like, you know, you never know. This was so good. I am like 1,000% just here for the romance at this point in time. I mean, like the plot is really good, obviously. I'm enjoying it for the plot as well, but like I'm here for the romance. That's it. This is an extremely slow burn romance in this series, but it's finally starting to pay off in this book, and I'm so excited. There were like several points where I was like sitting in bed and I was just like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, oh my gosh, is this finally happening? Just like all these like little like really cute moments. Zealous, the demon character, he delivered like quite possibly the most romantic line that I've ever read in my life. It was so cute. He really gives me like demonic Mr. Darcy vibes, and I'm so here for that. Like he's secretly a sweetheart, and I was not expecting that, to be honest. But yeah, I'm like obsessed with their romance right now, and I really want to just pick up the fourth book immediately. I'm like struggling to not do that right now because I don't have time. I have other things that I need to read. Also too, okay, there were two characters that were introduced like towards the middle end of this book. They have a like magical police department in this series, and these two characters are agents on their like magical police force. And I was reading them, and like it basically, their dynamic is he's a himbo. Like he is so stupid. He has like puppy dog energy. It's adorable, and she's a like goth badass kind of person. And I was reading them and I was like, I really hope that there is a spin-off series with these two, because this author has this series, the Guild Codex Demonized, and then she also has the Guild Codex Spellbound, I think it's called, which is a 6-book series, I want to say, and that one's about one of the side characters in this book. So those two characters were introduced, and I was like, I really hope there is a spin-off series of these two characters, because that would be adorable and hilarious. And there is. I forget what it's called right now, but I'll put a picture here. And like in that series, the puppy dog character, he is a like ex-con, and he promised to help the goth badass chick solve crime if he would give her his freedom, and then they team up and become partners that way. And I love that trope so much, so I'm gonna have to read that series soon. This author is going to become a like favorite of mine real quick. I'm like obsessed. I want to read all of her books right now so badly. I'm struggling so hard to resist just dropping everything and reading her entire backlist, or at least the Guild Codex series. But yeah, this is just so good. It's so good. I hope everybody reads this series at some point. I've been talking about it like nonstop on my channel the last little while, and I hope I've gotten at least a couple people convinced to read it. So if you are not convinced yet, just go and do it. It's like Zealous the demon is basically a cat. He takes no shit. He is his own individual. He's so funny, and like their banter is hilarious. They tease each other. It's so funny. It's so good, and the romance is incredible. I just adore it, and I don't want it to end. So like I kind of don't want to read the 4th book, because then like it'll be over. But I also really do, because I want more of these two. I want more of their romance. So we'll see how long I'm able to resist reading the 4th book, but don't be surprised if it's like later on this month. But otherwise, this morning I'm feeling a lot better. I'm still very congested, as you can probably hear from my voice, but I'm coughing a lot less. I have less pain all up in this area, so that's really nice, and just like generally feeling a lot better. I might actually be going back to work either tomorrow or Friday, one of the 2 days. Apparently, according to Ontario government, you only have to self-isolate for 5 days after the onset of symptoms, and then you're no longer contagious if you are double vaccinated, which I am. So I'm going to take a test later on and see if I'm negative yet, and if I am, then I'm most likely going back to work in the next couple of days, which like on the one hand great, because my paycheck is going to be a lot less shitty if I can go back to work a few days early, but also I want to sleep still and like be able to nap. I'm still not feeling like 100%. I'm still like very exhausted, and like just the lingering symptoms that just haven't gone away. I'm a lot better than I was a couple days ago, but I'm definitely not like 100%. But like if I have to go back to work, then I will. I don't really have a choice, so I'm not going to argue it. But then also to myself and 3 other of my coworkers all have COVID right now, and like we're a small team. We have I think 7 people on my team, so there are only 3 people available to run my entire store right now. So my work is struggling. So like if I can go back to work a couple days earlier, then that would be great, just to take some of the pressure off of them. So yeah, hopefully I'll be able to go back, but it'll depend on what my test says later on. I'll probably do that after I film this. I don't want to take the test. I've been avoiding it all morning, because when I took a test the other day, when I found out that I had COVID, it was my first time actually taking a COVID test, so that was unpleasant. Went through 2 whole years and managed to avoid having to take a test, and yeah, they're not great. So, but it must be done, so I'll do it. So then yeah, so for the rest of the day so far, I've just been, I edited a YouTube video that I got scheduled for Friday, so that's good. I did the booktube anniversary tag. You guys will have already seen that video by now. So that's been scheduled to upload. I do maybe want to consider filming a video today if I have the energy for it. I know with my voice being congested, it's probably not a good idea, but like I'm going to sound like this for probably another week or so, and I don't want to like not film for that long, so I might try it. Maybe I'll do it tomorrow instead, we'll see. But then I did also just start Before We Disappear by Shaun Hutchinson, and so far I'm really enjoying it. I apparently had no idea what this book was actually about when I picked it up. I thought it took place in like Alaska, but no, it takes place in Seattle in 1909 at the, what's it called, the Alaska Yukon Pacific Exposition, I think it was called. It has something to do with the gold rush, no idea. It's a world fair of some kind. So far I'm only about 30 pages in or so, but I like the characters a lot. The writing style is like very easy to get through, so I'm having a good time there. I haven't gotten too far into the plot, so I'm not really sure where it's gonna go. Right now the one main character is still in Paris. They like just decided that they're going to America, so hopefully it'll get really interesting, but so far I am liking it quite a bit. But I am gonna go and make myself some lunch. I don't really know what yet, but I'll figure it out, and do some more reading, and then I will update you guys later on. I think it's like almost 10 o'clock now. I'm honestly probably going to bed. Well, I'm gonna like go lie in bed and probably start the third Hobbit movie, watch that for like an hour, and then fall asleep at some point or other. But as we saw earlier with my test, I am still COVID positive, which means I am not going back to work, which, you know, both good and bad. It means I get to stay home and properly recover and everything, but also my paycheck is still going to suck. And my store is still running with just 3 people right now instead of the normal 7, so that's great. Apparently my coworkers are like barely hanging in there, so I have no idea how they're even functioning right now, but whatever. I can't do much from home, so there's no point in stressing about it. So in terms of reading, I am now at the halfway mark of Before We Disappear, and I am loving it. It's so good. Huge trigger warning for child abuse, like really severe, like kidnap, torture kind of thing. I was not expecting that from this book, like, at all, but here we are. It's a really interesting plot line. This book is definitely more character-based than plot-based. There's not much of a, like, actual plot outside of them just kind of going about their business at the exposition, and then the one character trying to rescue the other one from his kidnapper. So that's really all that's happening. So it's really mostly just character focused, which I'm very much here for. I like the characters a lot. They're really interesting. And not just the two main guys, the love interests. I love their friends as well. They both have somebody who they're both really close to. And I like their friendships. I like kind of everything else that's going on around them. The setting is really cool. I do wish that we've been able to see more of the exposition, world fair, whatever it's called. We've seen some of it, but not a whole lot. But there is still like half the book left, so hopefully we'll get more of it before the end of the book. But yeah, the plot is like starting to come together, and there's some scheming involved and all these things, so I'm having a great time with it. But yeah, that's about all that I've got for right now. Otherwise, it's been a pretty quiet night. I made a tasty dinner that you guys saw earlier in my clips. Just a big veggie roast with some pearl couscous and some feta. But yeah, I'm gonna go get comfy and get into bed and start watching The Hobbit. Whatever the third movie is called. The Five Armies, I think? No idea. That one. The last one. Thursday evening, and I've just finished Before We Disappear by Shaun Hutchinson, and I really liked it. I gave it 3 stars, maybe like 3.5. I think I mentioned before that it's very character driven. The plot really doesn't play a huge role in this one. Like, the plot doesn't really kick in until about the halfway mark, but the characters are so fantastic in this one that I didn't actually mind that much. Normally, I'm more of a plot-driven kind of person. I like really fast-paced plots and kind of things getting started pretty much immediately. But in this case, I loved all the characters so much that I didn't actually mind the slower paced plot. Then the plot did get pretty interesting towards the last half of it. I did find it to be very predictable, and I guessed literally every single one of the plot twists. So nothing was really a surprise, but it was still fun to go along with and kind of see where things went, even if I kind of guessed the entire way. It was still really charming and fun, and just overall a really good time. And I had a great time reading it. But yeah, the characters are definitely the best part of this one. I loved all the friendships and the relationships. I especially loved how the author used the like fantasy setting to change the past a little bit and make the entire main cast, who are all queer, just be able to be openly queer and have no fear of that. They were all able to kind of be in their relationships and just like have it not be a big deal. So that was really nice, considering that this book takes place in 1909 in America. And then the author did have a really sweet author's note at the end there where he mentioned why he wanted to change the past a little bit and have his queer characters be able to exist freely. It was so sweet and it had me tear up a little bit. But basically he just said that we have literally always been here. We've been a part of every single moment of history, and he just wanted to be able to write a book where it actually showed us being part of that history. So I thought that was lovely to read, and just overall it was a great book. I would definitely recommend it, even though it wasn't like the highest rated for me. It was still lots of fun and definitely one to pick up if you had any interest in that one. That concludes my prompts that I needed for the Gear Up Readathon. So I got my conduit, which was the quarterstaff, and then Before We Disappear got me my familiar, which is my made-up animal, the sugar mouse, which I really want to draw. I wish that I could draw, because it would be so cute. Yeah, I think that'll probably do it for this vlog then. So with that said, thanks for watching. Always appreciate it. I really enjoy doing vlogs, and I definitely want to do more of them. So it was nice to kind of do one again. I think it's been a little while since my last vlog, so it was nice to kind of get back into doing that. I really enjoy like filming b-roll and stuff, even though most of my b-roll is just me cooking. But in like future vlogs where I actually am able to leave the house and do things, they'll be more interesting. But given that I have COVID, I have not been able to exit. I haven't left the house in so long. I'm like so restless and sore, like my body hurts from not moving, but I haven't wanted to like risk like running into somebody outside, so I just have not left the house in the slightest. So but anyways, yeah, it was fun to vlog. I really want to do more of them, so I'll probably try to find some reason to vlog in the near future and do some more of these. But in the meantime, that'll do it for today's video. So thank you all so much for watching, and thank you for keeping me company while I have been sick. I hope you're all having a fantastic day wherever you are in the world, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye.